Good evening, Rams, and welcome to the first episode of Humans of CSU for the semester. I'm your host, Lauryn Orcutt. Tonight, we are diving into a few of the over 500 clubs and organizations that create community and belonging here on campus. We are joined by students who are the heart and soul of CSU's clubs that take their passions to new heights. This is Pamela Potzer, a member of the CSU Skydiving team that takes one's bucket list item to a weekly hobby and a lifelong passion. Yes, you heard me right. CSU has an official skydiving team that takes trips around the country to jump out of planes. It was brought back from the original club in 1968, where now current president Jason Baldwin started it back up. Members of the team have all gone through extensive training to ensure that when they jump, they're safe and ready for their descent back to land. Everyone is welcome into the club. All you need is ambition and a passion for flying. I'm now joined by a few members of the CSU skydiving team. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Doing pretty well, how are you?
Good, yeah. Will you introduce yourselves for me?
Sure. I'm Logan Johnson. I'm the treasurer of the CSU Skydiving Club, and I am a second-year student.
I'm Jason Baldwin. I'm the president of the Skydiving Club. I'm a CM major, and I am a third-year student.
I'm Pamela Potzer. I am the women's representative of the CSU Skydiving Club. I am a senior, and I study music therapy.
I'm Jack Brady. I'm the vice president of the club. I am a senior and I study economics.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for being here. Okay, so I have to ask, of all sports, why skydiving?
I just went one day with my best friend and his wife and never stopped. It's exhilarating and it's fun, and you get a really great community out of it.
Yeah, how about you?
I gotta say, my brother had his license, so he kind of pushed me to do it. And it was super adrenaline rush for the first 50 or 100 jumps. And then after that, the adrenaline kind of dies off, but still it is just the most fun thing you can do. And it's a blast every single time.
That's awesome. I would be absolutely terrified. I think the thing that would get me is the stomach drop. Does that actually happen when you come out of the plane?
No, there's no stomach drop.
No.
When you jump out of the plane, you're in this 10-second kind of horizontal fall of the hill. And pretty much that when you hit that, you're already kind of getting up to terminal velocity. So once you get out of the hill, there's no drop, and you just go down and enjoy your time.
Feels more like you're floating.
Okay, wow. How about you, Pam? How does it feel? Can you describe the feeling?
It's like jumping out of a moving car. So, I mean, no one's ever done that before, but if you have a car that's going and you were to jump or put your window or your hand out of the window, you get that airspeed. So that airspeed is not gonna have you have that stomach drop. It feels like you're flying, to be honest.
Wow, okay. And then how did you get into it?
I'd always just wanted to do it, and after I did it my first time, I was immediately hooked. You know, it's like they said, it's so much fun and just kind of clears your mind. Nothing else you're thinking about when you're falling 12,000 feet. So yeah, it's fun.
So are you the only people that you know of who skydive, or has your family skydived before?
Well, both of my parents were skydivers. My dad started in the early 80s, and my mom started later in the 80s, and they were instructors. So I grew up with those pictures and videos and wanted to do what they did.
That's amazing. It's definitely exhilarating, I would imagine. I've never done it, but I think it'd be so cool. I know it's on most people's bucket lists. So how often do you skydive?
Pretty much every weekend.
Every weekend.
It's open from Thursday to Monday right now, so we're there.
And you can do the most jumps I've done in a day is 8, so you really just crank them out every day.
Really? So can you explain the process to me? Where do you go? How do you find a pilot and a plane and all your gear? How does it all work?
Jack Brady?
Yeah, so we jump down in Longmont, Colorado.
Okay.
It's not too far. We usually try to carpool or meet up there so we can all jump together. There's a skydiving drop zone, a Mile High Skydiving Center, and that's where we jump at. That's where a lot of us learned, or at least have gotten a lot of jumps at recently.
Okay. Cool. So you said 8 is the most that you've done. How about everyone else?
Yeah, 8 in one day.
7. unfortunately.
Yeah, you slept in.
Yeah, I slept.
So is there a certain place besides the Longmont skydiving that you've traveled to skydive? Like, what's the coolest place you've been?
Lodi.
Yeah,
is my
so
favorite.
last year for spring break, we all carpooled down to Lodi, which is in California. It's kind of like it's the cheapest place to skydive in the world. So you could go up for $5 and they would take you. But yeah, it was just a ton of fun, just camping out and skydiving.
And you did that all week?
Did that all week.
Yeah.
We stopped in Salt Lake City too. We jumped there. That place is gorgeous. And we jumped down in Byron, California, which is a little bit outside of San Francisco. We got to fly over the hills and see the San Francisco Bridge in the sky.
That's
pretty cool.
incredible.
Yeah, it's a great
It was
time.
pretty fun.
Wow. So tell me more about this club. How did you all find it out? Like, I know you started the club up. So how did that come into fruition?
I had my license and just, wanted other people to enjoy the sport. Jack and I actually took our canopy course together, and that's where we met. And then he went abroad for a semester. When he came back, it was already started, but it really kicked into full gear. And we just started recruiting people. We met Logan and Pam over the years, and it's just gone forward since. We've got a couple other licensed skydivers in the club as well, and we're hoping to get a couple more this year.
Okay, awesome. So Pam, can you tell me a little bit more about you being the women's representative? What does the population of women compared to men look like in the club?
So I think the number is 13%, but don't quote me on that. It's just a very small number compared to the men. So the United States Parachute Association created what we call the Sisters in Skydiving, which is a network for women who want to get into the sport. It's kind of like a sorority, but we jump out of planes instead of dress up in white dresses. But it's really cool. There's a great group of women out there who do it.
That's amazing. So are you, do you have a focus on trying to recruit more women, or is it just kind of like open to everyone? Well, obviously it's open to everyone, but like, what's the recruiting process look like then?
Basically, if you're a girl and you want to skydive, then come talk to me. I can hook you up with the CIS events, tell you what it's like to be a woman on a very male-dominated drop zone. It's a lot of fun.
Great. All right. So last question before we get into your gear. What does this community provide for you?
We have a thing called the Sky Fam, and I mean, that's what we are. Like, we go out there with our people at the drop zone, and it's just like family there. Like, it's just, we're comfortable with everybody. Well, we're jumping out of airplanes, flying at high speeds together. We got to trust each other.
Right.
And we did that trip down in over to Lodi. It's a good time. It's a good place. We have a thing in common that's not a lot of other people do have. So it's really gives us a lot.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Like, I'll walk around with my closing pin necklace, and my professor, my biological psychology professor, stopped me, and she's a skydiver too. There was just like an instant connection between skydivers. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm sure most of the public can kind of relate to me in a sense of where you think skydiving is more like a one-time thing, not like a sport that people are super passionate about. And I think that's great that you're representing that here on campus.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So can you give us a rundown of your equipment and what you brought to show us?
I'll start because I brought my helmet.
Okay.
So, yeah. So this is the newest helmet. It's called the Cookie G4. We have our logo on the side. We all wear it on the right side. And it's really, it's not going to protect you for the most part if something happens, but it's more for the sound because the wind is pretty loud.
I see.
So, yeah, this is the helmet. And then down here, we have the altimeter. So this is what basically tells us exactly where we're at as far as altitude is, yeah. We usually have a designated altitude that we pull at, or that when we throw our parachute out. And this is really what tells everything to us. Pam has her rig over here that was handed down to her.
Yeah, this is my mom's rig. So it's a 1992 Javelin. And one of my really good friends changed it up. So this is the pilot chute, and it's out of its container, but it's supposed to be right here.
Okay.
So then when you deploy your parachute, what you do is you pull this pilot chute. And actually, do you want to take the parachute out? So just pull it really hard. You might have to.
Oh, like actually pull it.
So that'll take the closing pin out, which will take out the D bag,
Okay.
and then keep pulling it.
I'm like nervous it's gonna.
And then your parachute's out.
That's super cool.
Yeah, this is a zero porosity. This is like a brand new parachute by David Billings. If you want to rent from him, plug out to David.
Shout out.
So this, okay, you just pulling that out, like how hard is it to put it all back together?
It's a very complicated
Packing a
process.
parachute is not fun.
It's a process. It takes about an hour and a half when you first start. And I think Logan and I can pack in about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was one of the most frustrating things I had to learn for sure. It was no fun.
When I started packing, I was like, I'm going to have to quit skydiving. There's no way I can do this.
You don't want to get it wrong, that's for sure. So.
They're meant to open though. That's what I always tell myself when I just stuff it in.
Do you see it right now? Like how it's kind of getting fluffy? It's already filling with air when it's just sitting here.
So when you're going at 120 miles per hour, it inflates really quickly.
Right.
But then what you also need to consider is if you have a malfunction. So that's where these little rings come in handy. So part of being a skydiver is knowing what to do in those cases. So these handles, one of them will cut away the parachute. So this is an example, this is called a 3-ring system.
Okay.
So if you were to pull this yellow handle, it pulls this wire out of the 3-ring system like this, and then your parachute will just leave, which is important when you have a malfunction. You want to get rid of that main parachute right away. And that 3-ring system was developed like, 90s, because before then we had something called a cape well, which was really hard to undo the parachute. But as the technology improved, you wanted to get that parachute off as fast as you could, which is why Bill Booth?
Yes.
Bill Booth invented the 3-ring system,
Okay.
which is really cool. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, this is super fascinating. Thank you so much for bringing this. I'm sorry you have to pack it up.
It
Right
needed to be
now.
packed again. It was a really bad back job.
Well, thank you also for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you for your
thank you very
time. I'm
much.
really excited about getting to know more about your club. So yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So don't go away, Rams. We have a club coming up next that will blow your mind.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
The CSU community doesn't just have students anxious to dive out of planes. We also have students who are anxious to dive into the water. Let's check out the CSU Synchronized Swimming team. Most people may recognize this sport when watching the Summer Olympics, but you can also cheer the sport on right here at CSU. The Synchronized Swimming team is not just a sport that wears fancy flower caps and cool swim costumes.
There's a lot more, athleticism and serious training going on. I think it's a great way to exercise and spend your time.
Each swimmer is able to create their own unique routine to perform.
We choreograph them ourselves. Our coaches help a lot with it, but we pick the music and cut the music and do all the choreography ourselves. It's really a group effort, like trends usually that you can follow for choreography, some go-tos and stuff like that, but just kind of make it up as you go.
With these routines, the team is able to travel all over the country to perform.
We compete at regionals and nationals mainly, and we compete against D1 varsity teams. So that includes Ohio State, Stanford, Incarnate Word in Texas, and also D3 teams such as Wheaton, and also a lot of other club teams that reflect what kind of club we are too. So that could include Boston or Michigan, also Minnesota, and there's some Florida teams thrown in there as well. So we start training now and we condition all through the fall, and then the actual competition or official season starts in January. So it was crazy.
Through choreographing routines and traveling, this team has become one big family. I'm now joined with a few of the talented swimmers, a part of the CSU Synchronized Swimming team. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. How are you all doing?
Good. Very well.
Good, good. Okay, do me a favor and just introduce yourselves.
My name's Micah. I'm a senior at CSU and I'm the president of CSU Synchro.
I'm Kate. I'm a sophomore. I'm a health and exercise science major, and I'm vice president for CSU Synchro.
I'm Megan. I'm also a psychology major. I'm also a senior, and I am the financial officer.
Okay, wonderful. So I have to ask, what got you into synchronized swimming?
Well, my mom and my aunt were synchronized swimmers, and so when I was a kid, I don't know, I didn't really like to run, and so my mom was like, let's just throw her in a pool, and I liked it.
Yeah.
So I stuck with it.
I can relate. I hate running.
Yeah,
I was also
it's terrible.
Yeah, I was a swimmer too, but competitively not synchronized swimming, but I think it's incredible. How about you?
When I was 10, I was at my neighborhood pool, and I wanted to go dive off the diving boards, but they were closed because there was a synchro try-it night. So I did that instead, and then I joined the team the next day. So
that's fate.
I
know. I was at a summer camp and they had a try it for a week, and so I did, and I showed up in giant swim trunks and a giant t-shirt, and my coach was like, how did you not drown? So then I loved it and joined.
Yeah. So what do you love about it?
I mean, I've made a lot of friends over the years. This is my 14th year synchronized swimming, so I've been swimming since I was 8, and I think you really just become a big family, and yeah.
Yeah, is it, so can you connect to your mom and aunt also
yeah.
with this? Do you ever swim with them?
Yeah, there was not very often. My mom never wants to swim with me, but there was one time we all met. My aunt lives in Colorado, so we met here, and we just went to a neighborhood pool and we had little sculling competitions. It was fun.
That's awesome. Cool. What do you two love about it?
I would say my favorite part has to be the other swimmers as well. I think the bond you form with teammates is really unlike any other friendship that you can make. And I love the competition aspect of it too. I've competed nationally, and I think that rush and I don't know, that connection to the rest of the country is really unique.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you love watching it on when the Olympics come on.
Of course.
Yeah, that's great. Do you get tips from them, or does that help you and benefit you in any way?
Yeah, my team in high school was, we would sometimes have Olympians come and coach us for a little bit, and those clinics were really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you love about it?
I also love like the community aspect, like not just like within your own team, but like at competitions, like we'll be cheering on like our other like the teams that we're competing against, and like you just become friends with them, and it's just nice to have like a family essentially wherever you go. Like there's always someone that you know, and then like the immediate bond you get when you like meet another synchronized swimmer is just so easy and so fun. And then I'm also a very competitive person, so like I love the competition aspect of it as well.
Right. I think that's so cool because, yeah, I'm sure that the community is really big around synchronized swimming, but it's also a specific like water sport, and I think it's really cool. I can understand how you can connect to them.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the competition. What does it look like?
Gosh, I think the competitions we compete nationally now against a bunch of other teams, mostly other club teams like us, but there are some like D1 and D3 teams that we compete against as well. But you have to get up really early in the morning and you
put some unflavored gelatin in your hair.
Yeah, we like put our hair up in these really tight buns, and then we put Jell-O in our hair to keep it in place.
Right.
So that's interesting. And then crazy makeup, and we wear these cool guys.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. I am so excited to see you, and I hope to go to one of your competitions soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Well, don't go away, Rams. Next up, we have a special guest that you don't want to miss.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
What's up, Henry?
Hey, Julia. What's up?
What are you drinking your coffee out of this morning?
I don't even know.
Yeah, no, you should fix that.
It's uninspired.
You gotta get in this 905 club, let me tell you.
So if I donate $90.50, I can be part of this club?
It's got mugs, it's got shirts, and it's all dedicated to KCSU.
Well, I guess I'm going to donate to Club 905 because I support local college radio. What about you?
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Welcome back, Rams. So the snake is out of the bag, and his name is Edgar, and he's here with the CSU Aquarium Club. Hi, everyone. Hi, Edgar. Oh, my goodness.
Edgar's very happy to be on TV.
Wow, he's so pretty. Okay. Hi, Edgar. Will you please introduce yourselves for me?
Hi, yeah, I'm Jennifer. I'm the president of the Aquarium Club.
I'm Ariana, and I'm vice president of the Aquarium Club.
I'm Ryan, and I'm the social media chair of the Aquarium Club.
Wonderful. Thank you for spending your time with us tonight. Absolutely. And I also can't forget about our little guest here. Can you tell me more about him?
Yeah, we have quite a few.
Okay.
We have 3 different animals. They're all invertebrates, though. So that means they are animals that do not have backbones.
Okay.
So we have right here in the front, we have a sea cucumber, which is a pretty cool guy. Looks just like a cucumber in the ocean. You want to talk about the other ones?
Yeah, sure. So these are also all echinoderms. So they're in like the family with sea stars and stuff. So they're all going to be like mainly 5 chunks of their body. So we got the sea cucumber, like Ariana talked about. We have a pencil urchin, so you can see his little spines are moving around. He's investigating the area. And then we also have our brittle star, which is the super sprawled out, big tentacle looking thing.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. We have a big variety of animals with Aquarium Club, so it's always really exciting to get to show them off to people a little bit.
Yeah.
We think they're super cool.
They're super cool. So how do you have these animals? Are they yours or?
Yeah, so actually they're the biology departments.
Okay.
So the biology department has a relatively large collection of display and education animals, which Aquarium Club gets to help take care of and go on outreach events with.
Okay.
So that's why we also have some non-aquatic animals. Edgar is a ball python, so he does not go in the water.
Right.
But we mostly have fish.
Okay. Can I pet Edgar?
You are absolutely allowed to pet Edgar.
So, oh my God, I've never touched his snake.
It's totally fine, yeah.
Okay.
So as you can feel, he's nice and smooth.
He
A lot of
is?
people think snakes are slimy or scary, and they're not.
He's not slimy at all.
And you can feel like how soft and flexible his scales are. He's really muscular. Is really
neat. He is.
He likes to explore.
So, and you said he was an albino snake, an albino python.
Yep,
Okay.
he's an albino ball python.
Is that rare?
It's not terribly rare. You see it in the wild, yes.
Okay.
In the pet trade, no.
Okay, I see. So, can you tell me about how you got into this club and how you have positions and what this club means to you?
Yeah. Well. I was the one who started it, so that's how I got into it. But
yeah, basically, it just appeared. The biology department kind of just snuck it out and was like, "Hey, Aquarium Club exists," and all of us were like, "That's so new! Like, we don't have oceans here in Colorado, so it's definitely a fun thing to be like, I want to take part in that." And then you get to realize that you get tons of access to most of the animals on campus, and it's a good way to get a foot in the door, especially for people who want to become zookeepers or work in that field. It's a good way, especially starting out here. You're comfortable and you're learning, so it's really helpful.
And I joined because I was struggling with setting up my own fish tank. So I joined at the start of last semester, and lots of people were giving me advice and helping me, and I even got some of my fish through the Aquarium Club, which was super helpful. And then coincidentally, Ariana helped me network and then get internships as well. So it has a lot of opportunities for whatever you want.
Wow, that's wonderful. So can you explain to me about your relationship with the biology department and how you were able to bring Edgar tonight?
Yeah, so like I said, we work with the animals that are owned by the biology department. So we do have a couple people that are employed formally in the care of these animals, so I'm one of those people. So that does give us some ability to bring animals to locations on campus or sometimes off of campus. So we have a touch tank, which is really exciting. Bigger version of this basically that we can put more animals into. So we'll bring that off campus sometimes. But yeah, so they're under the care of the biology department, but Aquarium Club has access and members can volunteer to help in the care of those animals, which is really fun.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing Edgar and all the fish on the table. Yep. So don't go anywhere, Rams, and don't go anywhere. Make sure to come back tomorrow for the Thursday night news show for more news from the same people that you know. Ooh, I really butchered that ending.